Surrounded by freezing currents and shark-infested waters, Alcatraz was deemed the ultimate inescapable fortress. For 29 years, the federal government claimed no prisoner had ever successfully escaped its walls alive. But on June 11, 1962, 3 men vanished into the night, sparking the greatest prison mystery in history. Decades later, shocking new scientific data and hidden evidence are threatening to rewrite the official narrative completely. To understand how they did it, we must go back to the arrival of the mastermind behind the plot. Frank Morris possessed an IQ in the top 2% of the population and a lifetime of escape experience. Transferred to Alcatraz in January 1960, he immediately began evaluating the structural weaknesses of Cell Block B. Soon after, he reunited with 2 bank-robbing brothers he met in previous prisons, John and Clarence Anglin. Together with fellow inmate Alan West, the 4 men formed a secret alliance to execute an impossible plan. They knew swimming straight into San Francisco Bay without protection meant hypothermia and death within minutes. They needed a plan that was meticulous, invisible, and backed by extreme engineering ingenuity. Step 1 required carving an escape hatch through the concrete walls behind their individual cell vents. For over 6 months, they worked during music hour, using accordions and guitar noise to mask the scraping sounds. Frank Morris constructed a makeshift electric drill powered by a stolen vacuum cleaner motor. They concealed the widening holes using fake cardboard ventilation grills painted with stolen prison art supplies. Beyond the vents lay an unguarded utility corridor filled with plumbing pipes and high-voltage wiring. They set up a secret workshop on the top roof level of the cell block, completely hidden from guards below. To avoid immediate alarm during nightly bed checks, they needed realistic body stand-ins for their cots. They collected real human hair clippings from the prison barbershop floor to glue onto the dummy heads. The dummy heads were shockingly detailed, featuring hand-painted eyelashes, closed eyelids, and lifelike skin tones. Step 2 was constructing a vessel capable of surviving the violent currents of the open bay. Between them, they stole or traded for over 50 rubberized prison raincoats to build a custom watercraft. They glued the raincoat seams together with heat from steam pipes, creating a 14-foot inflatable rubber raft. They also constructed custom life vests, wooden paddles carved from scrap plywood, and an air pump system. The air pump was a brilliant conversion of an inmate's small musical concertina accordion. By early June 1962, all components were completed, tested in secret, and hidden in the roof rafters. On the night of June 11, the escape team decided it was time to make their move. They placed the dummy heads on their pillows, tucked blankets over clothes to simulate sleeping bodies, and squeezed out. Frank Morris, John Anglin, and Clarence Anglin successfully reached the utility corridor. 4th conspirator Alan West failed to widen his vent in time and was left behind as the crew moved forward. Moving silently up 40 feet of plumbing pipes in the utility corridor, the 3 men reached the roof ventilator shaft. They removed heavy iron rivets holding the roof ventilator shaft cover in place using their hand tools. Hauling their raft, paddles, and life vests, they stepped out onto the cold asphalt roof of the prison building. Avoiding bright sweeping guard tower searchlights, they slithered 50 feet down a massive exterior stovepipe. They scaled 2 12-foot barbed wire perimeter fences without alerting patrolling armed guards on duty. By 10 p.m., they arrived undetected at the northeast shoreline of the island. Using the concertina accordion pump, they rapidly inflated the rubber raft in total darkness. They put on their crude raincoat life vests, pushed the raft into the freezing dark bay water, and boarded. According to Alan West, their target destination was Angel Island, roughly 3 miles to the north. At sunrise the following morning, guards conducted standard head count checks across B-block tiers. A guard reached Frank Morris's cell, tapped the pillow to wake him, and the false head rolled off onto the floor. Sirens blared across Alcatraz Island, triggering the largest law enforcement manhunt in regional history. FBI agent David Sherman took personal charge of the federal investigation on scene. FBI agents searched every inch of the cell block, discovering the hidden workshop and remaining tools. Coast Guard boats, military helicopters, and hundreds of officers searched the waters of San Francisco Bay. Days into the search, debris began floating ashore on Angel Island and near the Golden Gate Bridge. Searchers recovered a wallet containing personal family photographs belonging to the Anglin brothers. A deflated bundle of blue raincoat rubber fabric was sighted floating near the ocean entrance, but never recovered. No human remains, bodies, or clothing were ever discovered during the massive 10-day sweep. The official FBI conclusion released years later claimed the men likely drowned in the freezing tide. Case officially closed in 1979 by the FBI. Case handed over to the U.S. Marshals Service, who keep it open today. For decades, the drowning theory was treated as undisputed historical fact by mainstream authorities. But in 2014, a team of Dutch scientists built a revolutionary hydrodynamics computer model of the bay. They tracked tidal movements down to the minute on the exact night of June 11, 1962. The simulation revealed that if the men launched at 10 p.m., the fierce tide would have swept them out to ocean death. However, if they launched at 11:30 p.m., as evidence suggests, the tide flipped completely. The shifting tide would have delivered their raft right to Horseshoe Bay near the Golden Gate Bridge base seamlessly. The computer model proved scientifically for the first time that the men could have survived the water crossing. The scientific breakthrough aligned perfectly with a hidden police report filed in San Francisco that morning. On June 12 at 1 a.m., a white Chevrolet car was reported stolen near the Horseshoe Bay landing site. The vehicle matched reports of a car that forced another driver off the road in Stockton, California later that morning. Were Morris and the Anglin brothers behind the wheel of that stolen vehicle, making their escape east? Then came the startling deathbed confession of a closely linked Anglin family member years later. The family revealed they received signed Christmas cards from John and Clarence for years following the escape. Handwriting experts verified the signatures matched the Anglin brothers' original handwriting profiles closely. In 2015, the Anglin family released an explosive piece of photographic evidence that shocked federal investigators. The photograph, taken in Brazil in 1975, shows two older men standing near a large dirt farm road. The men in the photo feature the distinct facial structures, hair patterns, and builds of John and Clarence Anglin. The family claimed an associate named Fred Brizzi visited the brothers in South America and took the photo himself. Facial recognition, facial forensic expert Art Roderick analyzed the photo using state-of-the-art software. The digital analysis concluded it was overwhelmingly probable that the men in Brazil were indeed the escapees. If valid, this photo proves the Anglin brothers successfully escaped and built new lives in South America. In 2018, another shocking piece of evidence emerged from the San Francisco Police Department. A letter sent to police in 2013 was unsealed, allegedly authored by escapee Frank Morris himself. The writer claimed that all three men survived that night, but barely made it across the freezing bay. The letter stated that John Anglin died in 2011, Clarence died in 2008, and Morris was living in secret. The author offered to surrender to authorities in exchange for medical care for advanced cancer. FBI laboratories analyzed the document for touch DNA, latent fingerprints, and handwriting verification. While results were officially deemed inconclusive, investigators admit the letter could not be proven a hoax. DNA testing on human bones washed ashore near San Francisco in late 1962 produced another twist. Comparison with Anglin family DNA confirmed the remains belonged to someone else entirely, not the escapees. Every official physical evidence test conducted in recent years continues to fail to prove their deaths. How could three of the country's most hunted men completely vanish without a trace in modern America? Let us re-examine the psychological profiles of the three men who outsmarted the federal government. Frank Morris was an expert in camouflage, false identities, and operational security. The Anglin brothers were skilled outdoorsmen raised on Florida swamps, accustomed to water survival. Their combined skill sets made them uniquely qualified to execute and sustain a lifetime of escape. Alcatraz closed permanently as a federal prison on March 21, 1963, just 9 months later. High operating costs and deteriorating concrete structures rendered the fortress obsolete. But the shadow of the June 1962 escape hung over the decision to decommission the Rock forever. Today, millions of tourists visit Cell Block B, staring into the exact cells where history was made. Replicas of the dummy heads rest on the cots inside cell 138, preserving the haunting scene. The open vent hole behind the wash basin remains a stark testament to human resolve and ingenuity. U.S. Marshals maintain active arrest warrants for John and Clarence Anglin and Frank Morris to this day. Warrants remain valid until the missing men reach the age of 100 years old under federal law. If they are still alive today, Morris would be nearly 100, and the Anglin brothers in their 90s. Did they die in the freezing black depths of San Francisco Bay? Or did they pull off the ultimate escape? The combination of tidal science, the 1975 photograph, and family accounts lean toward survival. They exposed the myth of the inescapable prison and created an enduring cultural legend. The story of Alcatraz will forever be divided into two eras, before June 1962 and after. Human determination, when backed by careful planning, can break through even the strongest steel and concrete. The Cold Bay holds its secrets, but modern science continues to bring us closer to the absolute truth. Every new investigation, DNA sample, and archive unsealed adds a piece to this legendary puzzle. Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers executed a plan that defied impossible odds and baffled the FBI. Their escape stands as a masterclass in criminal planning, engineering, and execution under pressure. History may never produce another prison break as daring, complex, or captivating as this one. The files remain open, waiting for the final confirmed sighting or confession to close the case forever. What do you believe happened once their raft hit the dark waters of San Francisco Bay? Did they drown in the tide, or did they live out their lives peacefully in South America? Drop your theories and thoughts in the comment section below. We want to read what you think. If this deep dive investigation kept you gripped, please hit the like button right now. Subscribe to the channel to unlock more unsealed cold case files and historical crime breakdowns. Turn on all notifications so you never miss a new true crime documentary upload. Check out our playlist of historic prison escapes and unsolved federal mysteries linked on screen. Every view and subscription helps us continue uncovering hidden archives and forensic evidence. Special thanks to our historical researchers, forensic consultants, and archive partners. Stay curious, question official narratives, and keep looking for the truth behind cold cases. The story of Frank Morris and the Anglin brothers lives on as the ultimate unsolved mystery. Thank you for watching, stay vigilant, and we will see you in the next case breakdown. Good night from the Unsealed Archives.